we are getting that choices. The people who are getting that choices, the student, the child here, she is not getting that education and she want to be a doctor. It is not possible. So for that, what we need the child to get proper education. If we are giving that proper education to that particular child, definitely that child can make up that doctor. But here, the child does not have education. She does not acquire that knowledge. So this is the situation. So very often poor people cannot choose to take medical treatment for disease because of their choice is limited by lack of resources. Many people who are sick, because they don't have that much of resources, their income is less, their pocket power is less. Because of that reason, most of the time they getting sick, they are not able to use the services which is provided by some private agencies. They have to depend upon the government, and sometimes government is not able to provide that facilities, and they are not able to treat their diseases. This is happening every day, in everyday basis. Okay. Now let's move on to this activity, which is to enact a 5-minute play and all. In online class we can't just do that. Okay. So the 4 pillars of human development. Just as any building is supported by pillars, the idea of human development is supported by the concept of equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment. So this is very important. This section is very important. The 4 pillars of human development. Just as any building is supported by pillars, the idea of human development is supported by the concepts of equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment. So these are the 4 pillars of human development. So the 4 pillars of human development are equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment. So equity refers to making equal access to opportunities available to everybody. So what is equity means? It refers to making equal access to opportunities available to everybody. The opportunities available to people must be equal, irrespective of their gender, race, income. In the Indian concept, it's caste. Yet this is very often not the case and happens in almost every society. See, equity means equality. The equality means the opportunities and access to all the resources should be equal to everyone in the society. There should not be any discrimination. And discrimination can be on the basis of the gender, race, income, and in Indian context, it can be caste. But we are just talking about equality, but we know that this equality does not come practically, right? Many people are even devoid of many things which we are enjoying. Okay? It is not practical everywhere. Right? Many of the people are even now facing that discrimination all over the world in one way or another. Okay? For example, in any country, it is interesting to see which group is the most of the school dropouts belong to. What is dropouts? Dropouts are the students who start education and after a period of time, like after 4 or 5 years, they just stop their schooling and they just get off the school. And this is what dropouts means. So this should then lead to an understanding of this reason for such behavior. In India, large number of women and persons belonging to socially and economically backward groups drop out of school. So in India, what is the situation? Large number of women, persons belonging to socially and economically backward groups drop out of school. So if we are taking about dropouts in India, who are the majority? There are large number of women. What would be the reason? In North India, we are not talking about South India. There people are much more aware of the things. In North India, what people think is that women are only meant for making house. They should be housewives. They are not going to do anything with their education. They don't have any use of education because after a particular period of time, they are gonna get married and they are going to their husband's house and they have to be a housewife over there. So because of that reason, most women drop out from the school in India. Then persons belonging to socially and economically backward groups. What does that mean? The people who are economically backward, they are socially backward because of their house condition, because of poverty. What they do, they just stop education and they just started to do some other work which can provide them with good income, which can provide them good money so that they can just take care of their family. So that can be the reason. That can be another reason for dropouts. This shows how the choices of these groups get limited by not having access to knowledge. So this can be the reason. This is the reason that many of the people are not getting that choices. They are not getting that choices which we are just discussing before. And they are not getting that choices because they don't have access to that knowledge. They did not attain that knowledge which they were deployed of. Okay. Then comes sustainability. Sustainability means continuity in the availability of opportunities. Sustainability means continuity in the availability of opportunities. What does that mean? To have sustainable human development, each generation must have the same opportunities. Each generation must have the same opportunities. You must have learned sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Sustainable development is a process in which we have to utilize our resources in such a way that our future generation should have the access to it. The resources which we are using today should be available for our future generation also. That is called sustainable development. And here sustainability means the opportunities which are available to us should also be there for the future generation which are coming. Okay, all environmental, financial and human resources must be used keeping in mind that it should be there in future also. All environmental, financial and human resources when we are using, we should think that we should keep it for our future generation also. Okay, misuse of any of these resources will lead to fewer opportunities for future generation. If we are misusing these resources, just imagine that, as we all know that fossil fuels and all, petroleum and all, minerals and all, and water we are talking about, if we are just using them without proper care and all, it won't be there for our future generation. They won't be seeing this. So this is sustainability. We have to think about that. We have to be much careful. We have to think about our future generation also, about all those things which we are, all the things which we have got now, we have to provide them to our future generation also. A good example is about the importance of sending girls to school. Here they are giving an example of sending girls to school. If a community does not stress the importance of sending its girl children to school, many opportunities will be lost to these young women when they grow up. Their career choices will be severely curtailed, and this would affect their aspects of their life. So each generation must ensure the availability of choices and opportunities to its future generation. The girls, most of the girls, as we have talked here, they are not getting that access to education and all. And if we are doing that, we are depriving them from all these things. We are not allowing them to get that opportunities, right? We are not giving that much of choices to them. We are not giving the choice of career. We are just giving her we are not giving her any option. She is only having one option to get married and get settled. She is not having, we are not allowing her to dream. She is not having any dream of getting a job or anything like that. We should not do like that. It should not be it should not be the case over here. We should change it. That is the most important thing. That is sustainability. Now, productivity. What does productivity mean? Productivity here means human labor productivity, or productivity in terms of human work. So here productivity means human labor. Labor means just not labor, it is the quality. It is the quality of human beings. Such productivity must be constantly enriched by building capabilities in people. Ultimately, it is people who are the real wealth of nations. Therefore, efforts to increase their knowledge or provide better health facilities ultimately leads to the better work for efficiency. So what is productivity means humans' productivity. It's human beings' productivity. So how they are going to get that productive nature, how they are going to give that product or that productivity. So for that, they should get good education, they should be given much more trainings, they should be given much more knowledge, and their health facilities should be better. And in this case, the total quality of humans will be increasing, and that can totally reflect upon the productivity of that particular nation. So that is productivity. Okay. Now, empowerment. Empowerment means to have the power to make choices. Here we are mostly talking about choices only. Such power comes from increasing freedom. So here the stress is given to freedom and capability. And how does capability come? Capability comes with that education, with that acquirance of education and knowledge. Good governance and people-oriented policies required empower people. What are the main things which are needed for empowering people? It is good governance. Good governance by the government and people-oriented policies. The policies which are brought up by the government should be people-oriented. The people should get benefits from their policies. Okay. The empowerment of socially and economically disadvantaged groups is also especially important. In the same way, socially and economically backward people, we should be give much more importance to the people who are socially and economically backward, because those are the people who we have to bring in the upper line, because then only that human development will be in balance. So this is very much important. That is empowerment. Okay. Okay, now, so this is about human development.